Hello, lovely ladies. This is Keri Blair, and I'm back for another episode of Style Your Dreams. And I'm so excited to be with you. So, I am on vacation right now. We are at our second home in Sedona, and I'm sitting outside on our patio underneath this amazing vortex rock energy center called Rachel's Knoll, which I love so much, on the golf course. And I was so inspired to do a podcast episode about Sedona. So over the years, people ask me, what's the magic of Sedona? What to do in Sedona? Why visit Sedona? Or they've never even heard of Sedona. So I figured this would be a good podcast to do. So I'll tell you a little bit about our story. So my husband and I got together about 17 or 18 years ago. And my parents lived in Phoenix, and we would come visit them for Christmas. And then we would, you know how family is, we would need a break. So we would decide to go to Sedona. We heard about the magic of Sedona, and I had been here in high school because I finished out high school in Phoenix. And we decided to spend 4 nights in Sedona at the end of the year. So it was between Christmas and New Year's, and that started us off. And we've been coming to Sedona every year for 16 or 17 years now and love it. And it's absolutely magical. And why I think it's pertinent for this podcast, The Style Your Dreams, is that I feel like Sedona is a big reason why we've been able to accomplish our dreams. So when we started coming here, you know, my husband was brand new in his business and I had had mine for less than 5 years. And we would come here to dream, and we would go to different rocks and vortexes and different hikes, and we would dream and we'd set our goals. And mostly it became a retreat that we would do at the end of every year. We would complete the year before, and then we would create our new year here in the energy of Sedona. And it's been actually quite magical what's occurred in the past 16, 17 years since we've been doing that. And sometimes we would always come at the end of the year, and people knew it, like, oh, are you going on your retreat this year? Yep. And then once we had Stella, sometimes we would bring her with us. Sometimes we would leave her with her grandparents. And it still was magical no matter what. So let me tell you some of my favorite things. Oh, and so fast forward, a couple years ago, my parents passed away, and they wanted their ashes spread in Sedona because they loved it so much. So we came here, my whole family, and we spread their ashes. And that day, we made an appointment with a realtor, and we found this amazing place on the golf course. And now we come probably 4 weeks a year, and we absolutely love it. So we try to spread it out. So right now we're here for 8 days in the summer. We come in the spring, we come in the fall, we come in the winter. We still have our tradition to come between Christmas and New Year's, which is amazing. But this is like our special magical place that we love to come. So, people come to Sedona for a lot of different reasons, and people are attracted to Sedona for a lot of different reasons. For us, it was relaxation and spirituality. For other people, it's the art galleries and the jewelry. And for other people, it's just the beauty. For some people, it's the outdoor hiking and mountain biking. And so people come here for all different reasons. And I feel like there is something for everyone. So I'll tell you some of my favorite things to do. So I love to hike when we're in Sedona, and there are so many different hiking trails out there. P.S. There's books that you can get about the different hiking trails. My favorites are probably, well, if you want a super easy hike, I love going to Crescent Moon Park. It has a beautiful creek with streams, and I love it there. And that's really a peaceful place. And in the summer, you can swim there and get in the water. And in the winter, it's just a beautiful place to hike. And they have this beautiful area called Buddha Beach where you can stack rocks called cairns. And that's super fun. So that's an easy thing to do. And then there's hard hikes. Like I was talking to my friend Gracie, who's a local, and I was asking her, what are your favorite hikes? And her favorite hike is Cathedral Rock. And we had done Cathedral Rock, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago. And it's a great hike, and it is not easy. So if you're in great shape and you love hikes, Cathedral Rock is amazing. This past time, we finally, after all these years, we never wanted to wake up early enough to do Devil's Bridge, but we did. And it's epic. It's amazing views. I'm sure you've seen the photos all over the gram. Um, and I also really love, so I love the vortex energy. So I love going to the top of Airport Mesa and meditating, or going to the top of Kachina Woman, which is in Boynton Canyon. That's another great hike. Oh, and one of my favorites that we haven't done in a few years is Schnubbly Hill. I love saying that, Schnubbly Hill. That hike has amazing views, and it's, I don't know, so serene, so beautiful, so magical. I always get messages when I'm there from above. So I like to pay attention. And I mean, Sedona is just a great place if you need to reset and you want to accomplish your dreams and you want a little assistance from the universe and God and the magical energy here. It's awesome. Okay, let's talk restaurants. So we like to do the finer things. So there are super casual restaurants you can go to in Sedona, and there are high-end restaurants. So usually when we're here, we like to go to the higher end restaurants. So our favorites are, let's see, we love the restaurant in Le Berge, which is also an amazing place to stay. It's right on the creek, and their food is amazing. We also love Mariposa, which is one of Lisa Dahl's restaurants. And we first found out about Lisa Dahl when we would stay in the Hilton for many, many years, which is in the village of Oak Creek. And she has a restaurant over there called Cucina Rustica. And we loved it, loved it, loved it. We went there every time we were here. And now that we're on the opposite end of town, we like to go to either Dahl and DeLuca, which is her sister property, or Mariposa. And then my favorite is the Hudson, which has epic, amazing views, and they have great food. Let's see, are there any other restaurants I absolutely love? Oh, and then we love going to the Enchantment for dinner. So we love going to Chiachi or Tagavo are the two restaurants at the Enchantment. And if you don't know of the Enchantment, it's the number one resort and spa in Sedona, and it's magical. I know Ken and I stayed there a couple times, and one time we had our own private um, plunge pool, hot tub outside, and I felt like I was on an episode of The Bachelor because you have these amazing Red Rock views, and then a hot tub outside of your room, and it was a huge hot tub. It wasn't a normal size hot tub. So if you want a spa experience, by the way, Enchantment's the way to go. If money's not an option and you want a spa experience, that's where to go. They just reopened their spa after spending millions of dollars in renovations. I mean, literally, they tore it down and built it back up. And it's exquisite. And they have the coolest spa treatments that you don't get anywhere else. And it's so awesome. And that's what I like to do when I go to spas is I like to experience what they have there in this culture. Because I can get a basic massage anywhere, right? And then speaking of spas, excuse me, when we used to stay at the Hilton in the village of Oak Creek, I would go to the Hilton spa often, and their spa was amazing and had different kind of treatments. So I feel like you can really do Sedona on any budget point. I know when we first started coming here, we would stay at the Hilton. I I know my brother and his family really like the Wilder. They just renamed themselves. If you're on a lower end budget, Sedona Real's a great um, place to stay. Oh, and there's that new courtyard up by the high school. So there's lots of different places that you can stay at different price points. What's that other place that I've stayed? So I love L'Auberge and Amore. I can't think of it, but there's another one right next to L'Auberge that's great. And then if you're around that area by L'Auberge and the other hotel I can't think of right now, it's terrible. That is Uptown. And so that is the most touristy place of Sedona. And that's where all of the shops are. And there's other good restaurants up there. The Vault has an unbelievable patio view. I would say go there for happy hour or dinner. You won't regret that. But that's where you're going to find all of your stores that are, yeah, for tourists. You're not going to find a bunch of locals in that area unless they're working there. um, but it's a beautiful, beautiful area. And then if you're into artwork and jewelry, I recommend stopping by the Tlaquepaque area. That has fabulous shops, a little higher end, and gorgeous art galleries, amazing fine jewelry, and great restaurants. Like they have a brewery there. They have Renee, a French restaurant there. It's just a really spectacular place. And then, also in that area is my bestie local friends, Greg and Gracie. They own the Hike House, which is kind of kitty corner from Tlaquepaque. And if you need hiking gear, anything, you could get running shoes and workout clothes and hiking gear. They're the place to go. It's funny. A couple years ago, we were flying in, and the airline lost our luggage. And there isn't a lot of great clothing shopping options when you're in Sedona. And I called Gracie and I'm like, what do you have? Now, luckily, Sedona is a pretty casual town, so I could just get by with, some cute. They had Viore and Aloe and these amazing brands that I love. And Gracie does a fabulous job buying. Some people go in there and just buy gifts. And I have some great sunglass readers that I got there. I mean, they just have a little bit of everything, and they have a cute little cafe. So I recommend stopping by the Hike House. Tell them I said hi. And Greg has also written a book about hiking. So if you're interested in the hikes, from locals' perspective, pick up his book at the Hike House. But yes, I highly recommend that. And yeah, I was able to buy everything that Ken and I needed for our trip, having lost our luggage. And then luckily it came a couple days later and we could have our normal clothes. So let's talk about how you dress in Sedona. So it's interesting now having a place here and coming here more often. I used to completely overpack. And now I think I've got it honed in. So here's how I pack for Sedona. So typically on an average day, we're going to be active. So we're either playing golf, since we're on a golf course, playing tennis. So we either play tennis at Enchantment or I love playing tennis with the locals at Poco Diablo. Shout out to them. They're an amazing group of people that I play tennis with a couple times a week when I'm here. Or we're hiking. So we're fairly active during the day. So I'll wear active clothes. So whether it be, Lululemon or Aloe or whoever it is, casual, think casual with tennis shoes. And then there may be a couple days that I do that in the morning and then I get cleaned up and want to go into town and do a little shopping or roaming and check out the crystal stores or a local boutique. Then I'll just throw on a dress. But please know that when you're in Sedona, everyone is casual. So during the day, there's not a lot of need to dress up. Even in the evening, if you're a more casual person, you're coming here to hike and just experience all the beauty that Sedona has to offer, you're probably going to wear athletic wear the whole time, and go to casual dinners. But if you do go to some of the nicer restaurants that I mentioned, please know that they do dress up. So that doesn't mean you have to get super fancy, but I always wear a nice dress and heels, and you'll find most other people do the same. But if you're going to a more casual place like Picasso's Pizza or Famous Pizza or Moondog, or what are the other places? Butterfly, Burger. You don't have to dress up that much. So dress depending on the activities that you're going to do, but know that Sedona is a casual town, and even the locals are casual. And just come here to enjoy the beauty. And what I really recommend, excuse me, a lot of people come here and they have their list of things to do, and they want to get these 17 hikes in and these restaurants done and this spa treatment. That's probably not where you're going to find the magic of Sedona. Because if you're rushed and trying to get from place to place to place to place, and you have this strict agenda, you're going to miss the magic that is Sedona. And the magic here is around every corner. So you could be on a hike. This is perfect for my recovering perfectionist personality. You could be on a hike and you get lost. And the next step is the perfect step, because getting lost, you might find a nugget or a treasure that you never would have found if you stayed on your regimented schedule. Or you meet someone who touches your heart, or you become friends with. You never know what you'll find. So my recommendation is that when you come to Sedona, slow down, be present, and be willing to have the magic touch your life. Be willing to have the magic and the miracles touch your life. Like as I'm sitting here on my back porch, I'm watching butterflies and people golfing and hummingbirds. And sometimes I'll see an occasional javelina or deer walk by. And that's what's gorgeous. So, one other thing I want to mention about vortex energy, because a lot of people have questions about this, and a lot of people that come to Sedona are seekers, which I love. But here's a funny story. So when we first started coming here and we had heard about the vortex energy, I remember walking near this vortex and wondering, where's the vortex? Where's the vortex? Where's the vortex? I was so focused on where's the vortex that I completely missed the vortex, because I was so focused on like finding the right location, that if you can let all that go and be present where you are, then, which is what I did in that moment. I was at Crescent Moon Park right by the creek, and it's now my favorite place. But I stopped trying to get somewhere and I just surrendered. And all of a sudden my body started swaying in kind of a circle. And I was like, oh, I guess I found it. So there's no right way to do Sedona. There's no right way to feel a vortex energy. I mean, I think you can feel the energy of Sedona everywhere you are once you come into Sedona. But my biggest recommendation when you're in Sedona is you do you. Let go of everything else that you have to, keep it together or have to be a particular way and all of that life. Like if you come to Sedona, allow this to be a place that transforms you. Allow it to take you over and allow the miracles to change your life. So I hope that's helpful. If you have questions that I didn't answer, because I mean, there's so much to talk about Sedona. And by the way, I didn't mention, but where I am is at Seven Canyons Golf Club. So if you're wondering what golf course, it's Seven Canyons, and it's amazing. So feel free to send me your comments. By the way, if you like this podcast, please give us a 5-star review and subscribe. And I've been loving it. I've been getting some direct messages on Instagram from people with different topics to cover. So don't worry, those will be covered shortly. And I love it. So I want to know how I can help. What's the best conversation for you that would change your life. And that's it for now. I look forward to talking with you all soon. Have a magical week. Bye.